Hey, yo, what up, man? So, I hope brothers understand and realize, man, where we are, and just the impact that we're having on media. You know what I mean? Even mainstream media, to the point of where, once upon a time it was like, hey, man, they gotta be watching such and such. They gotta be watching him. They gotta be watching this person because only he says this, and whatnot, what have you. But now they're just blatantly, doing it and admitting to it, and they're literally picking from, the the independent content creators, the independent podcast, the independent personalities, all these different things, man, and they're using them for content. So it's crazy, that when you say, content creator, just how, um, you know, I guess factual that's coming to be, because last two things that I seen on Gilly the Kid's page, man, they had to shout out $1 million worth of game directly and take from interviews that only they can get. And I think this is why it's very important that brothers understand, man, that the business aspect of this and the impact of where we're the modern day Ahmad Rashads and Stephen A. Smiths, to where they will only grant interviews, your MJs, your Kobe's, and whatever else, just crazy superstar at the time with certain individuals. Well, now that realm is moved to where these guys know they can actually be themselves and say what they want to say. For the most part, still, it's certain things they just can't go to because, they're even though as candid and whatever you can be, it's still certain topics you're not going to broach because you don't want to, worry about the cancellation backlash. But you can be, let your hair down, as they say, or let it out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And be a little more truthful and real. And that's what's expected whenever you're on $1 million worth of game. The brothers, the football guys, their podcast, and whoever else, Haha Davis got a podcast. All these people that aren't mainstream media that are getting the true feelings, beliefs, and just off the cuff responses of these entertainers, whether it be music, whether it be sports or whatever, right? And I just hope brothers understand, man, that these are black men, right? And the impact that we're having on mainstream media. ESPN now, ESPN has the sports, the world of sports since my lifetime, right? And of course now Fox has their Fox Sports and whatnot, but still, everything about in the name of sports has always been with ESPN, to the point of where interviews they can't get, or what I'm saying, they're just not willing to talk about topics and subjects and things, the questions they're not willing to ask because of being politically correct, because of social issues, because of politics, right? Because of hell, just corporate, whatever the corporation puts. And a lot of with the move of this social justice uh movement, man, and its takeover, as to where now ESPN is a derivative of Disney. Disney is pushing this, kids this and all this stuff against the kids and stuff, and people are tired of that, man. And just people in general, not even necessarily just a political standpoint or whatever, but parents especially are sick and tired of their children being targeted, and we're starting to fight back by understanding the power of the consumer. There is no business without a consumer, man. Okay, supply and demand is the basic principle, the foundation and the existence of business. If there's no demand, there is no supply. Okay, you can make gold toilets, all right. But if nobody want to sit on them, bro, that's just a whole waste of gold. And you have to melt that shit back down and repurpose it into something that people actually want and they're going to use. All right. And what we're coming to learn is, man, is that the black male, the black man's okay, perspective, his candor, his entertainment, his rawness, his realness, all these different things, man, it's becoming nothing more marketable. Some of the hottest topics in in YouTube, and YouTube itself is becoming a major competition for mainstream media. And that's why it's very important that brothers understand, the position you hold and you have when you get out here and you start doing this on your own, man. You know what I mean? Because it can be done. You know, and at some point in time, bro, you're gonna have to realize that you owe it to not only yourself to get as much out of this you can possibly get, but also to everybody coming after us, man. So we make a lane for them, because we didn't have this. I told y'all, man, we like the first generation that had this thing to where black men can actually speak their mind. Cam Newton can get on a podcast and answer a question about what he thinks about women, something he'll never ever be asked. And they tried to tear him down because he laughed at a question a female reporter asked him, and this is not thinking from his perspective or whatever. And at this point, man, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and however the chips fall where they may. And it's nice to see, him get that chance to actually express, and hey, what do I see as a woman? What do I see as today's dating market? What do I see, as far as, all these relationships and things like that? That's stuff you're not going to be asked about in ESPN, because ESPN sports. All they really care about is sports. What's your stats? What are your plans for your team? Where do you see yourself going? All these different things, right? So, and rightfully so, that's what they're supposed to do. But, no man is one thing. You're very multifaceted. So in order to get someone like a Cam Newton or whoever, I think the other guys had Antonio Brown as well, at least who it looked like, asking them questions about things, that are quote unquote, taboo or controversial, not PG, things about sex, things about dating, things about the political views or spiritual beliefs and all these different things. Hey man, that's one of a kind, and it's great that they are starting to understand their power and only giving those interviews to other black men. All right, $1 million worth of game, Club Shay Shay, all these different things. And trust, believe me, bro, everybody understands that mainstream media is dying. As I said before, the whole Disney thing that's going on, bro, they've already taken a hit. All right, people are starting to fight back, and they're going to say, hey, look here, bro, you think you're going to press this and force this on me, not only me, but my children. That is an attack that I'm not going to tolerate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my dollars and I'm going to go elsewhere, as we should. Okay. There again, man, the consumers control the market. Like I said, I don't really want to get into this thing, but the whole thing that happened in 2020 should have never happened. All you had to do was say, hey, look, bro, we got to wear masks to come in your store. Well, we're not coming in your store. In the mask mandates, in the lockdowns or whatever, we're not doing none of this shit. If you don't want this, if you want your business to survive, this is what we'll do. All right. And lo and behold, coming here shortly, I think we're going to see a lot more of this. People understanding just the power of them using their dollar to command these businesses, because you're in control, not them. But ultimately, the most important thing of this, man, is as black men, we're here. All right. And we got to make sure, bro, that we only make this stuff get, bigger and better as time goes along. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing better than to see, another black man make it, especially when, like I said, we haven't had a voice for so long, bro. Like I said, just think about, mainstream media and the figures you had that were black men. Very, very few and far in between. Like you said, hell, daytime TV, you only had one. That was like Montel Williams. For the longest, you had Stuart Scott, may he rest in peace. Then you had Brian Koppel. Not Brian Koppel. Oh man, I'm messing up now. The two brothers, the two light-skinned dudes from the news. You know what I'm saying? Brian Koppel's a white dude, but I can't think. You know what I'm talking about? Like curly hair, light-skinned dude that was a news anchor for the longest time. And I think his other brother, he was either working for Showtime or HBO or something. Like he had like a special. But you Stephen A. Smith, now Shannon Sharp, and just very, very few. Ahmad Rashad, as I said earlier, very few black male personalities, man. You know what I'm saying? Very, very few. And it's important, bro, that we try and grow that as much as possible, especially when, you know, they're trying to now infuse media with, you know, more anything and everything other than, you know, heterosexual men, especially heterosexual black men. But hey, man, I ain't gonna hold this thing too long, bro. Shout out to Gillie Wallo, $1 million worth of game. Again, man, I don't. Let me say this too, and like I said, bro, you don't have to be completely and totally 100% in lockstep, because, you know, Wallo and Gillie talk about a lot of stuff, man, and semi-glorify. I won't say fully, but still semi-glorify a lot of stuff I think that's problematic with us, with the black community or whatnot, what have you. But at the same time, man, like you said, I'm not gonna, you know, as they say, you know, eat the meat, spit out the bones. You know, the stuff that I don't agree with or whatever. Hey, it is what it is. You know, it's still some entertainment to even in some of that. But at the same time, like you said, bro, you cannot overlook and cannot not support these brothers in being as successful as possible, because them making it is gonna help more of us make it. So, hey, man, that's that on that one. I'll catch you on the next one.